Let's go shell some corn. Well, good evening, everyone. It is 8:22 on Monday the 18th. We are trying to get some work done here on this tarp that just came in today for the 882. We did about 90 acres of beans today and a few acres of corn. Basically just did the end rows off. But we figured we're going to try to get this done before we get real busy this week. So we're going to start working on this. We're going to work on this for probably a couple hours tonight and then probably have to finish it in the morning. But I'll keep you guys up to date on how this goes. It's in a lot of pieces and we're not sure if there's, John found instructions. So let's get going. Okay, it is now 10:45. And climb up the ladder here. All we got done was this from here to there on both ends. And then these tarp bows 6, we don't have them tightened down or anything, but we've got them set there and bolts on one side of them. They're sitting down the others. Under Firth, if you're watching, please make your instruction manual more clear, because 3 of us cannot make sense of it. So yeah, we're just kind of going by the instructions as much as we can and then taking our best guess. So we'll see. Turned out to be more of a project than we thought, but oh well. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, so next morning, well, almost afternoon, 11:30. You guys can see, got that done. I'll climb up there and show you. You can see it looks much better than what it did. Being around this side, it was quite the chore. We had to end up undoing about half of what we did last night. You can see the tarp going across the top there, because the instructions were so unclear, and we ended up my water over here, end up using some wrong hardware in an incorrect place, which is kind of what I figured might happen. But climb up here. As you can see, got all these tarp bows on here, got these cables tightened up, got all this bungee on here. Works flawlessly, just like it's supposed to. Would have been nice if the instructions would have been more clear, but that's all right, we got it figured out. So while they were finishing that up, I was able to, well, I'll show you back here, or John and I were able to get a cab cam remounted on here, because it was up there where this bar mounts. This bar's for this. So we put the camera there, gotta run a bit more cabling, get up to the cab, it'll be good to go. Okay, we got everything wrapped up there, so Jonathan hopped in that tractor cart and he's bringing it over. We, don't know if I mentioned it last night, we hopped across the river and started over there by Raritan, or north of Raritan a little bit, on 80 acres of corn that we're gonna work on. We're not in a huge rush. That's kind of why we did that tarp last night, and then this morning we're gonna get that 80 acres done tomorrow and then see what the beans look like, because the beans were a little bit planted 3 or 4 days later than the stuff around here, but they're also a decently longer maturity, so they might not be quite ready by the time we get that 80 done, and that's why we went ahead and put that tarp on. But John's heading over, I'm heading over in the old farm car, and I'll hop in the other cart. I would assume we got one truck full from last night, so Dad's probably going to take it in, and then we'll see what happens when Jonathan gets there. I'll probably hop in the other truck, and then he'll bounce back and forth between the 2 carts. Dad and I will get the trucks, but The corn is the same corn that was on this other 80 that we shelled a few days ago, that had the disease problem a little bit and was starting to kind of blow over. This is doing the same, not quite as bad, but the yield's about the same, which is all right. We'd like it to be a little bit better. Still north of 200 by quite a ways, but the moisture is much drier, so, which is good. We don't have to pay for drying costs or anything, but also it's dry enough to where we're having to slow down our header speed just a little bit and make sure the deck plates and the corn head are nice and tight, because we are getting some loss at the head from the what we call butt shelling. It's where the ear, whenever it's picked, comes down, slams on the corn head, and basically explodes, sending kernels everywhere. But I don't think it'll be too bad. Once we've only done the end rows and maybe a round off of one side, so once we get going up to the middle, it'll probably pick up a little bit of moisture, but we'll see. So I'll let you know when we get over there. I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of idea of what I'm talking about when I say this corn is disease and falling over and stuff. You can see the stuff going right through here. It's not supposed to be breaking tops out by September 19th. Maybe October 19th, maybe. Definitely November 19th I could see. But this variety is supposedly having some troubles, even though it was DeKalb's best seller this year. Sold the most volume. That, and it's just been very, very dry. I do truly think, other people do, that this corn just died there at the end because we haven't had an immeasurable amount of rain in months. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. This stuff, I don't think it's as brittle as the others. Yeah, see, it just broke off right there. But since it's broke off here, it's kind of holding it up. But had that been standing straight up and broke off, it leans over. So we're out here getting out, which is good. But like I said, we'll see after we get this corn done, see what the beans look like, and go from there. So let's go shell some corn. This is Luke's field here, so we've got his combine on the corn head. He and Dad try to switch it back and forth as much as possible between their two combines, just to even out the wear and tear, keep the hours low. So it works out nice having two. You know, obviously for beans we run both at the same time. For corn, just one with one 8-row. We would like to definitely upgrade to a 12-row, but we run into logistics problems. Mainly is keeping the corn away. We just don't have trucks or truck drivers. I mean, we can always get trucks, but the problem is finding good help, unfortunately. You could run 2 8-rows if you wanted, but still that's actually more corn coming out. We did that a couple of years ago. Whenever it was really, really wet, we got in the middle of November before we got finished up. Just because it was so wet, we weren't able to do anything, so we ended up buying the head we have now, used 2 combines to finish up corn, got rid of our other head that was a few years old, and kept this new one, so works out pretty well. Dad went ahead and brought me out to this truck that we filled last night. We had it parked here at another farm we've got, and it makes it real handy when we farm this one because the elevator is right there. Very small elevator. They only got 4 bins, but makes it really nice because we've got about a third of our acres are over here, and this elevator is normally really fast. And they did just get another pit. They did just have one. They only got 2, one for corn, one for beans. So makes it nice, especially when we got that corn there. Corn here behind us. There's about, right here, there's about 95 acres, I think. And the rest is just a couple miles away. Dad just did his odometer, and it was like 6 miles one way to this one. That's the farthest field we got. Well, there's one more to the west of there, but it's probably about the same. So 6 miles one way, too bad. But I'll get this dumped and see what the moisture was. Well, they must be still getting used to 2 pits, because I've seen their guys kind of hurriedly walk back and forth a couple times between each one, and they've been going over there to that guy. Looks like I got someone coming over my side now. I might have to pull up. Oh, they still have one dump handle. I got to use mine. Oh well. The moisture on that load went 15, which is right what Luke's combine was saying, I believe, which is good. 15 is alright because that's what you dry it down to, or you pay to get it dried down to. But like I said, you have some little bit of header loss. Test weight was good. It was like 60.1, I think. So not too bad, but it's a good thing we're getting this corn out. I don't think we've got any more of this number, which is good. And I mean, it's doing all right. Like I said, could be a little bit better, but we'll see what the other stuff is like when we get into it, because after we get this done, we would have done 160 acres of corn and only this one number. But we'll see what the other stuff does. Should, fingers crossed, be better. We shall see. Unfortunately, I think our fourth summer has hit. It's today's not too bad. It's about 80 today, and then for about the next week, pretty much, it's supposed to be in the low to mid 80s, and that's good and bad, I guess. I don't know. It's good because it's going to dry out the corn probably pretty quickly, probably up to a point a day. Hopefully it doesn't get too dry. Maybe after this warm spell, it'll kind of cool off and stay there. But it says it's probably not going to be so good for the beans, just because it's going to dry them down considerably. And if they get too dry, you'll potentially have to stop cutting. But if it would rain, they'd pick up some moisture, which would be fine. It'd be great. But there's no rain in the foreseeable forecast, unfortunately. Go figure. Had a buddy joke with us because we told him we were putting a tarp on this other grain cart. He goes, "What you putting that on for? It's not going to rain." He's pretty much right. So I don't know. So I'm back in shorts. Unfortunately, I like to be in pants, but I don't like heat. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. We'll see how things turn out here in about a week once it cools back off. Dad and I have each taken several loads into the elevator, and like I thought, once we got going up the long rows, the moisture started picking up a little bit, not a whole lot. I think it's that last load was just over 16, so that'll help things out a little bit as far as the head loss and butt shelling and stuff goes like that. you try to minimize that as much as possible, but everyone's got it, and there's only so much you can do about it. But when nature helps us out, that's good. Doing well so far, I believe. I haven't heard any updates on the yield, so it's probably doing about the same, which is acceptable. So still running one cart, been able to stay caught up. I've basically just been pulling right over the pit there at the elevator. There's a couple other guys hauling in, but you can see the other carts sitting down there. I think it's actually got a little bit on it from earlier, but other than that, everything is going well. Dad and I are taking our last loads in for the evening. That's him right there. It's 10 till 7. Elevator closes at 7. So obviously we can't get another 2 trucks back here in time. So we'll take the trucks back, get them loaded, then get both the grain carts loaded. That way we'll have 4 loads first thing in the morning. That's that much less we got to do. I think, well, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing we got about 20 acres left. Could be wrong. I didn't ask, but that's just my guesstimation. So I think that's all I've got for this video for today. Really enjoy watching the view count go up. So makes me happy, and the subscriber count. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.